Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Welcome back to Calmsden Farms and our Let's Play series. I'm going to be doing some grass work in this episode, which is going to be super cool because I increased the density of the grass, so it's looking really good now. Also did a video on that, so you guys have probably watched that by now. Hopefully you've tried it out yourself and got some joy. But I also tried it myself on the barley, which is what we can see in front of us. I mean, look at it. I might have gone a bit over the top here, but I'm still getting a really good frame rate on ultra settings. So yeah, it just goes to show the optimization that Giants have done. I mean, look at the rows now. Look at the tram lines now, though. I mean, you could literally just look down that and it looks really dense. I wish I could just get really low down to the ground just to show you that how dense that is now. But yeah, it's looking much better. I also did the weeds, and I was mentioning about wanting to try out the weeds. And you probably saw in the last video how bad Field 2 was. But look at it now. It's just here and there. I think it's better like that, because I tried it at reducing it to about 0.5, and I found it was a bit too much. So I've gone between 0.4 and 0.3, so it's 3.5. And yeah, you can see that I think it just looks so much better than what it did before. It kind of reminds me, it's getting closer to precision farming, but it's not there, because precision farming just had a patch and then another patch and another patch, and I liked that. Whereas this is still scattered across the field, but it's just not everywhere, which is super cool. In fact, if we go over to Field 7, which did have quite a lot in, you can see now what it looks like with a crop that's actually growing tall. So you can see there's a couple and they're dead, and if we hadn't sprayed these, they wouldn't look like they've been burnt away. But yeah, you can see they're still there, but they're just not as many. And I prefer that look, because even though, I'll still have it showing up as the whole field had weeds, as you can tell there. It's still all needs spraying. It's just better overall. It really is. But let's run over to Field 10. And we're going to chop the grass now. This is the first growth stage that's ready to harvest. It could go to one more, but we're going to just mow it now. I need the feed, because in this episode I also want to get some dairy stock. So I'm going to get in probably 15 cows. I'm not going to go pick them up. I'm just going to pay for it. I know I've said I want to try and be a bit more frugal with the cash, but I think it's just a wise thing. I probably should have done it sooner, which is get some dairy stock in and feed them and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's important we just do it and take the hit on the money. And not sure if I'm going to be using a new harvester anyway this time around, so we'll have to see. Got an update on this as well, though. These are now working, these manure heaps. So if you've still got the problem, I've seen a few comments. It is actually fixed. I'll give Giants the credit. In the last episode I was saying it wasn't. It is fixed. It's just, to be honest, I don't know. I think it might be because I'm using a mod. It could be that. I've heard that just the extensions work, not the actual standard manure placeable bunkers. I don't know if that's the case. I've also heard that you need to place down a new cow shed, which I can't do because it's a placeable that's on the map. So if I get rid of it and place it down again, I've got to go with all that faffing about, and I'd rather not do that. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but it is working. If you start a new save on Calmsden and you put down a manure bunker, it should just work. It's that simple. I don't know why I was having that issue, but I have noticed that one mod came out yesterday, and remember, I am recording these in advance, so it's going to be next week that this comes out, but I recorded it last week because I'm having a full week away from my PC, basically, because I got some work at the weekend to travel, and I just needed to make some prior. So yeah, I'm a little bit out of sync than you guys. It's a week before you're watching it, so literally version 1.51, the hotfix came out today, just to give you a reference of what day it is I'm recording. There was a mod that came out yesterday, and it's the display information mod, and that's actually fixed it, and it states in the changelog on that mod, so the update for it, that they've did something that fixed it. So it is now connected to. Weirdly though, I think I need to remove the actual bunkers and place them down again, because I'm still not producing any. I've moved into May and I've still not got any manure up in that one, even though they're connected again. So I think what I just need to do is remove these both out, put them back in, reimburse myself the cost of doing that, because I'm not going to take a hit on that when it's a problem with the game. And then hopefully from there we'll have manure. That's the plan anyway. Anyway, let's get some cows. I'm using my cow pasture, which is the one that's kind of just invisible. So there's no fences, no nothing. Like I said, Cookie is working on some. I know he sent it, needed to do some changes, so it'll send again. So it's got to be close now. But I'm using mine just for the cow one because it's completely invisible and I don't have to worry about it passing on mod up, basically. Right, anyway, I'm going to just get 5. Actually, I'm going to get 10. I'm going to get 10 milkers, like already at the age to milk, and I'll sit quite happily grazing. I do need to get some feed into there. I have got 1 bale left, I'm sure of it. I might have used it, actually. We've got meadow, though. We have got meadow. That is pretty cool. So that should tie him over a bit. Even though it will do nothing for their health, they'll stay at 100%. That should tie him over for a bit. I still don't get this, people. I just don't. It's a strange one. It really is. What are we all thinking anyway about the VR? So, Farming Simulator VR. I mean, that technically I got the information today, and tomorrow, this is the problem with recording in advance. It's just, I'm so out of sync. But yeah, technically, I got the information today from Giants. It's being announced tomorrow. I've already recorded the video for it, so it'll be coming out. So you guys would have watched that by now because we're like a difference of a week. So what do you think of it? Are you excited for it? I'm interested in it. Let's say that. I'm not sold yet, just because what the perfect scenario for me would have been to just have a version of where I can actually go VR in FS25, so I can still use mods, and yeah, I can still use mods, and I can also attach it to my computer, like, and we can, you know, maybe it's on Steam and stuff, and yeah, I can have a steering wheel as well set up. Now, I don't know if that's the case. You guys will probably know a lot more than me right now while you're watching this, because they didn't really give us much information. But I'm very hopeful that it's going to be something pretty cool to try out. I like the fact that there's a load of stuff in there to get hands on, like you can grease up the equipment you're using, you can fuel up, you can, you know, interact with inside the cab, you can jet wash. There's a few things going on that's pretty cool. Right, so we're just going to focus on one field. Just thinking, do I do the massive one or do I use a worker for that? Do you know what? I think I'll use a worker for that. That's too much to do in one episode. I think the last few times we've been doing grass work, it's always been better to get the AI workers going with that. And I don't want to lease out any more equipment, you see, so I may as well just do that after this video and let it do its thing to help me out. But we can focus on this. Man, look at the grass now. It just looks so much better. It really does. It's incredible. The difference it's made by increasing the density on grass is it's night and day. Right, so mowing time. We're gonna try and get some. I'm gonna do. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna do a mix because we need the feed. Yeah, we're gonna make money. We are gonna sell some of this for feed. I think what I'll do is this field here, I'm gonna turn into hay. The big field up top, I'm gonna turn into silage bales. I'll sell probably like the majority of the silage bales, but I will keep a few of them because, you know, we need to feed both sets of cows now. We've got some beef stock and some milkers, so it just makes sense to do that. Let's go and cab for this, just so we're not too close to the edge. I mean, look at the difference though. Like, even in cab, the way the grass looks and just, yeah, it's so much better. It really is. Massive difference. Before I could see the grass then. We are chopping grass. It just doesn't look like much, does it? But it's there. It's there. I mean, it's only 50% fertiliser. That's my problem. I didn't actually go and fertilise it. That's a new error. That's completely shocking on my behalf. We are making grass. We're cutting grass here, but we haven't fertilised it fully. So we're not going to be getting loads off this, unfortunately. Even though it looks nice and lush and dense. Ah, well. We'll crack on with it. Hopefully they've improved on the kind of flickering of the rows and everything, but we'll find out in this episode because we're going to be doing some rowing and some baling. We'll see how it gets on. I'm on to the tedding. I've got the Ford and the tedder out of the shed. It's over there. That's actually the first time I've used the tedder on Calmsden. First time I made hay, really, so keep us busy. I'm going to keep all the hay bales, I've decided, but I'm going to sell, well, there we go, we want to be on that line. I'm going to sell half of the silage bales. I think that's probably the best bet, because I want to try and bring the money back up to around 250,000. So I think, you know, I think it's doable, because we do get a lot of bales off that big field. And I've set the worker going as well, so if I just bring up the map, you might see him out and about. No, can't see him. But he is in there, I promise you. He's working. There, you can see him there, worker F. So he's out and about doing that whilst we do the tedding, and then we're going to move on to the rowing, and then I'll hopefully finish the rowing before we need to set the worker going in the other field with the row. Well, that's the plan anyway. But no, I want to sell 50% of the silage bales we make, and we're going to keep all the hay bales for the feed and keep half of the silage bales. That's the best way of doing it in my head, because I know I need it now. We've got 15 cows out grazing. I think it was 15, or I'm pretty certain it was. It was 10, so I got that wrong already. So it was 10 cows. We've got 10 cows out grazing on the meadow, but they need some feed, so they start producing some milk. That's going to be a really good way of generating some income. We've also got the beef stock that needs some feed as well, even though I'm doing the beef stock and I don't mind them. It's just, are they even productive? Like, will they make me much money? I just don't see it. I feel like they should get to the max value earlier in age, but I can't even change that in game because it's behind like the locked Giants files. Some of the files they don't share out to modders and anyone alike to do any customization. The animals unfortunately fall into that, so I can't do it. The only way I can do it is if we get a mod like Maze Plus, for example, that focuses on the animals, has its own scripts and stuff like that, and then I can just make adjustments in them scripts. But I also think that Maze Plus will probably rectify that issue anyway. So yeah, not too bad. A random one now. I never usually talk about like other video games, you know, other games, interests and stuff like that. But next week, for me, which is this week that you're watching this, I know, strange, and I've said it multiple times now, but I am off. And the reason I'm off is because of the weekend. Basically, I've got work at the weekend, so I couldn't do the farmhand, and I thought, well, I may as well have the week off. It's been so long since I last had any time off making content. I think the last time I did was in August last year when me and Beanie went on holiday. And again, at that time, I made videos to come out in advance because I want to keep my channel active and, you know, have videos coming out. So I decided to have the week off. Also, there was another reason for it, which is a game's coming out, and it's called Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, you might not have played it, or you might have played the first one, but it's outstanding. Like I loved that game. It was just really good. It's like a medieval open world, quite realistic as well, the way it plays. I mean, it's got like, you can go collect herbs, you've got pestle and mortar, and you can make your own potions from the pestle and mortar, and like you can even see the animations as you're doing it, and you have to like interact with it. So you might have like the pestle and mortar to mix it up, and then you might have a furnace to kind of like, I don't even think it's called a furnace, but you can do that as well with like swords, and you can actually make your own swords as a blacksmith. It's really good game, and it's on console, so you can get it on console. But I would recommend playing the first one, even though the second one looks like they've made big improvements, and it was a bit clanky because they tried to make it super realistic to like the way you fight. So you do the sword fighting and the interactions to that. So it was a bit of a learning curve when I first started, but as soon as I got into it, I loved it. So I thought to myself, I've got this week off. This game's coming out. I'm going to spend the week chilling out, playing this game, because I know at the weekend I've got to go do some work stuff. So I've got to go away. And I can't do my normal content. Make the most of it. So I'm proper excited for this, and I'm working hard to get this time off. But I did think, I bought this on PC, and while I'm away at the weekend, it would have been really good to take my PlayStation. Because I have got a PlayStation, and I never use it. I'm always on my PC. But I could have got the game on console and then took that with me, but I didn't. And now I know I'm going to be out there going, bloody hell, I regret this. Why didn't I get it on PlayStation and take it with me? 'Cause it's not like I'm flying anywhere. I'm just travelling in the car, so I could have easily taken it with me. But it did make me think, like, what does everyone else play? Is anyone else hyped for that game, or is it just me? Like, because I always think that we've got probably like a mixed bag of people watching the channel that like playing Farming Simulator, that like other games, because I'm into games like The Witcher, games that are open world users. I've always liked playing Assassin's Creed, Fallout, Far Cry. I did like Skyrim, obviously, it's just a no-brainer. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, really love them games as well. So there's been a few, but I kind of tend to go to games where you just lose yourself for countless hours, and I don't want to keep repeating myself as well, even though that's technically what we do in Farm Sim. Like a multiplayer shooter, I don't like them games because I just feel like my brain's going a bit numb. It's just a repeat of everything, but Farm Sim's the same. So, yeah, maybe I just don't like the competitive side to it, I don't know. But it did make me think, like, is the viewers of my channel, what games you into? I'd love to know, because I know a lot of people play ETS as well as Farm Sim, but I've never really gone on ETS. I think I've had a couple of goes, but never truly got into it. I used to play Flight Sim quite a lot, but I haven't played that, and I haven't even played the new version of it. But I do like Flight Sim. It's just, I think when you start doing content, it does take you away from like what you used to do as a gamer. Like, I don't play my PlayStation much anymore. I'm not playing like games like Flight Sim as much anymore, or even going into ETS. I probably would have gone into that game a lot more if I just didn't have this sole focus at the moment on Farming Simulator. But the good thing about it is I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it and it felt like a job or something, then I probably wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't, because I have to enjoy it, or else I've got 2 jobs then that technically, you only should ever have one job that you don't really like. Even though I am lucky, I enjoy my job, but, if someone gave me the money tomorrow to stop doing it, I would do that. I think a lot of people will like that, even though you probably enjoy the jobs too that you do. But yeah, interested to know what everyone, what's their go-to games? Like, do you like Fallout like me, and, Bethesda games like that? Are you into Dark Souls, Bloodborne, From Software games? Anything like that? The Witcher, again, CD Projekt, amazing game that was, The Witcher 3. Wasn't a big fan of Cyberpunk though. I mean, I think it just started off so buggy and kind of put me off a bit, I will be honest, but I should probably give that a better chance. I did play it, and, we probably put about 30 hours in it, but I never completed it, and I know now it's a lot better than what it was. So that's something I should probably go back to at some point. But anyway, the moral of the story is I'm excited for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And if you've not heard of it, go check it out, because it really is really good. Right, so I think what I'll do now is I'll do the time-lapse on this. I just want to find out first before we get some of this road done, because obviously the guy mowing out in the silage field, oh god, that's shocking driving by me, shocking. Oh, just about. Yeah, the guy mowing out in the silage field is going to need to row after so we can carry on with the baling. But we need to be a step ahead always. Just let it do its save. Took a while, didn't it? Yeah, we need to be a step ahead always. So let's just visit this. So he's done quite a good chunk. He's done 3 headlands, I think, already, and then now doing an up and down stretches. Again, didn't fertilise this, but we're just taking a hit on that. Now let's get this sorted out. I will try my best to use the guided steering on this, but I have noticed I wish I could bring the field boundary in, because that one on the edge, for some reason, it just doesn't, it doesn't work very well, let's be honest. So I think we're just going to have to wing the first headland, and then just kind of work on the rest. I mean, guided steering, like in-game for Farming Simulator 25, is an absolute lifesaver. It is, because you don't have to wait for courseplay. I also think it's a lot easier to use. Like, you have to give credit to Giants. It works really well. For GPS and for the AI workers. Like, I'm tending to go to that more, even though I've got courseplay right now. And that could be because, courseplay is still kind of like early days and needs a bit of work doing to it. But I just think for like on the fly, jumping into a field, getting a work going, doing some baling, doing some, doing some rowing, seeding, anything that's just a straightforward task, it's really good for. I mean, when you come into like using multiple harvesters on big fields and having like a forage harvester, yeah, fair play. Course plane auto drive is the way to go, and it has its uses. But I just think the AI work has been improved so much, and I've used it a lot of times now that I find it easier just to use the guidance steering that's built into the game. So they have done a really good job. Anyway, let's get this sorted out, and then we'll get in with the baler, and hopefully we can get this full field baled up with hay, and then just set the worker going to finish off the silage field.
Not concerned about how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to save. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a fake. Take control of your own life. Nothing in life is good. Tired and misunderstood. I would fight if I could. If I believed I should. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Okay, try to be brave. You have so much to say. Take control of your own life. Right now, every mistake makes you feel like a fake. Take control of your own life.
So the work is going now on the rowing in the silage fields. You can see how big this field is in comparison to what we've just mown and rowed up as well. And tedded as well. We've done tedding, rowing and mowing, but this one's still mowing. Now I've got a problem, and the problem is I need this tractor. This is the tractor that will only run the baler, but I'm going to test it. I'm going to try. I mean, it's a bit of a risk, but we're gonna just see what we can do. That's not gonna be. I've set it. You see, I've set it to 2 rows, 2 headland passes here, and I don't think it's actually going to do a very good job there because of the fact the edge of that field there. Yeah, it's gonna leach over, but we'll just have to fix that after instead of faffing about. But no, I've got a problem, and it's this. This one here requires 250 horsepower, as you can see in the box at in the bottom right there. It says required power 250 horsepower, and then here this only has 224. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. It's not gonna be very good. It'll probably slow it down. In fact, do you know what? We're actually running at good speed here. So yeah. 224 horsepower, like literally about 26 horsepower. We're 26 horsepower shy of what it requires, but guess what? We're still running it. So it might do a bit of damage to the tractor, but we can always repair that. Oh, I probably should point this out. One of the mods that came on ModHub recently, brilliant mod, used it all the time on FS22, and it basically adjusts the maintenance costs and painting costs. Now, even from 22, like everyone knew that the maintenance cost, the painting cost especially, was just way out of skew, for my opinion. So I've put this down to 50%. And I've still kept the interval at 100%, which basically means how often the maintenance, is required, or how easy or how quick basically it reduces. So the bar with the maintenance bar. So I've kept that just as it's set. But the paint's gone down to 25%, which is still a lot of money, by the way. And then maintenance cost is now 50%. So, not too bad. We've got an issue. What's going on? Let's just cancel that and let them carry on. And then I'm hoping if I just say, you carry on, I'm hoping he'll automatically detect where it needs to go. It did before. I've done this before and it has. Whereas with Courseplay, you just go carry on. I probably should have. I've just realised as well that I should have done Courseplay on the rowing, because I can use that course then to do the bailing. But it looks like I'm going to have to do the bailing, which is not an issue. I can easily do that. I can actually follow the GPS. That's not the issue. It's yeah, it's just getting a worker to do it would have been ideal. But no, I'm very happy that this is actually working so far. This case is pulling the big class quadrant at the back there, and it's actually doing the bailing. So can't complain at all. And I think we should be doing anyway the highest, the biggest size. So we've got, yeah, the 240 sizes. So these are going to be some hefty hay bales. And the good thing about hay is it does the same amount of productivity as silage. So if we give silage or hay to the cows, they'll get 80% health, which is not bad at all. I mean, TMR is the way to go, but I only rather do TMR really with the dairy stock, because it just makes sense there. You actually get something for doing it, which is obviously more milk. So I might do that. We've even got a TMR mix that you start off with, so it's not like it's an issue. And we aren't playing with Maize Plus or anything like that. So the mixes are as simple as hay and silage. Bit of straw. Job done. But anyway, I've done enough time lapses in this episode. I'll get through this, get all the baling done in the hayfield. I'll cut back in when it's done. And yeah, we'll see how many we ended up with. So far, we're looking like we're going to be getting a lot. And the bonus of it all is they are large bales with a pretty decent capacity as well. Finally finished baling up that hay, which is going to come in handy. It really is for the dairy stock now that we've got. But let's have a quick look. I can't get over how much of how full the grass looks when it's cut. I might bring that back a touch. I mean, it's not doing anything to the system. It does look better than what it did, but I feel like it might be just a little bit too much, so I'm going to try and bring that back a little bit. But yeah, there we go. We've got a lot of bales. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Got one behind us anyway. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if there's one over in the corner, probably, that'll be 13. So 12 hay bales at the volume that they are, which is 8,000 litres, is plenty. There we go. So we've got 13. There's one just down there. So 13 bales of hay, which is plenty. Quite happy with that. But let's go and find out how the workers are getting on with the silage. That's going to need wrapping at some point. Cows are happy. Not bad. It's starting to take shape now. We've got a nice arable yard this side with some beef stock, and we've got our dairy cows that are just quite happy over here. So let's plonk that there and have a quick look. So we've got the Ford going around rowing up. I've set the baler going. I did change the course on the Ford to Courseplay, and then the baler's following. But what I did do is I set it going in the centre first and then finishing on the headlands, which is always a nice touch you can do with Courseplay. So yeah, the bales will start flying out, as you can probably tell already. So they're going to be grass bales that just need wrapping, and we can even use Courseplay for that as well. So I'll probably just leave this going now in the background and just let it do its thing, finish off that field, and again we'll have some wrap bales. And then probably in the next episode we'll jump through. I mean, technically we could just jump through to May now. Sorry, from May to June, because we're in May, aren't we? June, and barley is ready to harvest in June, so we might be doing the harvesting in the next episode, which is going to be super cool. Doubt the bales are going to be ready though. They're not going to be fermented in time, are they? I mean, it would be good if they were, because I could try and bring some money in. I need to start generating money from the milk. That's the thing we need to do. And I think if I just jump up to this lime station. No, I used it. We had one bale here, one silage bale. but it's gone. It's gone. So yeah, we've got no feed. So I've gone and got some cows, but got no feed. But well, we've actually got some hay now. So I tell a lie, we can actually give the hay. So actually, it was all planned out, and that's the way I intended to do it. Even the cows are growing as well. They're at a good age now. They've actually gone on up to what they must be like. What are they now? They're 13 months old. So really, like, I mean, you could technically start selling them soon, and at least the health's at 100%. And they've still got silage, which is good because they're still at 100% health, which is really good actually. But as you can tell with this, it says it should be 40%, and I would like that. If the cows, let's say, were 40% productivity, 40% milk compared to what you get with TMR, let's say that's 100%. Same goes for hay and silage. Let's say you get 80% let's say you get 80% milk from hay or silage. I'd love it if the grass and meadow was the same, but from the testing I did, you get nothing, and they don't even breed, and the health stays at 0. So really, that needs to be set where they're at 40% health, they still breed, and they just give you 40% milk compared to like the 100% max you could get with TMR. That's what should happen, but unfortunately it doesn't. So we really do need to get some hay bales into the feed trough out in the dairy pasture, but we can do that now. I've got 12 of them. I'll probably manually stack them away, and I might even stack them. In fact, I will. I'll stack them. I'm thinking, should I put 50% of them up there, 50% of them over here? I think I'll do that. I'll separate them. I'll put 6 in that shed over there with half of the silage bales we keep, and then I'll put half the silage bales up in that shed with 6 of the hay bales, and then at least just feed at both areas then to get the ball rolling with that. But overall, productive episode. We've got through quite a lot. We're going to jump into June in the next episode. That should be a harvest, which is going to be a challenge in itself with the size harvester we've got. But it's going to bring in some really good money, and hopefully from that money we can start paying a little bit of the loan off. Maybe even buy a harvester. Who knows? Depends how we get on, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me, because that really does help my channel out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.